$500,000 is a lot of money. That's basically 5,000 of these bad boys right here. Sorry to flex my $100 bill here, but it does serve a good example for how ridiculous that amount of money actually is. But what's even more ridiculous is that this Shopify store I found is doing 5,000 of those $100 bills every single month. If that's a lot of math for you, that's $500,000 per month. And you probably already saw the title, so you already know what I'm about to say. But what's really interesting about this store is that though traditionally when you think of these super successful stores, you think of cosmetic brands or clothing brands. At least that's what I think of when I think of a successful Shopify store. And of course there are more innovative stores in like consumer products like deodorant. I actually just bought some native deodorant. Oh, I don't know if you can see it right, but this is a Shopify store and they're doing pretty massive numbers. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do like a store review on them. But today I'm gonna be reviewing, reacting, whatever you wanna call it, to this one Shopify store that does those sort of insane monthly numbers, selling courses. Now, whether or not you're a Shopify business owner, you will get a lot of value out of the dissection of this store because I think this concept is extremely original. So without further ado, let's actually dive right into the store. Alright guys, so welcome to my computer. If it's your first time here, just get comfy, chill out, and let's get right into this. So as you can see, this particular Shopify store is called Motion Design. And one thing right off the bat that I'd like to point out is their domain name is motiondesign.school. And the reason why is obviously because they are a school. They're selling online courses on this particular site. Now there are brands in this space that have already established themselves to be like the online course hub, such as Skillshare, Masterclass. I know Udemy as well is a big one. And this is why I think it's really interesting to see other brands that are just kind of more niche down, but still are able to find massive success. And this is a great example. And that example can be applied to all sorts of businesses on Shopify or whatever business you have. Sometimes it's best to not try to appeal to everyone and instead niche down to a really specific customer target. Now, first things first, this store looks beautiful. The design is amazing. So right off the bat, I would imagine that it's doing quite well. But assumptions are never good. Let's actually take a look at the proof behind the store. And as you can see, I'm using this Chrome extension, SimilarWeb. I've highlighted this in many videos. It's free to use. You can just Google SimilarWeb and download the Chrome extension. And what it does is it basically gives you a summary of the traffic that a particular store is receiving. And it also gives you the traffic distribution if you click on more insights, which we will do in due time, but not quite yet. For now, let's just take a look at the estimates here on monthly visits. And as you can see, they are getting more and more traffic even with quarantines going on, which actually makes a lot of sense since people are stuck at home, they don't have much to do. They may be more willing to buy a course because they have more time to actually consume the content. And as you can see, it is insanely consistent. They're getting nearly 500,000 monthly visitors. In one of my recent videos, I talked about how an average estimate of store visitors to revenue ratio is a 1-to-1, which means every visitor equals about $1. And some of you guys were kind of confused on that. I don't mean that literally every person that visits your store makes you $1, but on average, let's say this store has a 2% conversion rate. That means that with 100 visitors, 2 people will buy. Let's say both of those people that bought a $150 course. That means $300 worth of revenue from 100 visitors. So in this case, it's actually a 3-to-1 ratio. I just had to clear that up because obviously I want you guys to understand where these numbers are coming from, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm speculating based on literally nothing, right? So truthfully, I conservatively titled this video 500K per month, but I would be willing to bet that they're doing over $1 million a month in sales. And what I think is amazing about this sort of model is that it is a digital product, which means that they have no product cost. So when somebody buys this $150 course, obviously you have to take into account all their employees, all their site costs, all of those things. But as far as product cost goes, it is absolutely zero, which is amazing. And that's one of the biggest costs when it comes to starting an e-commerce Shopify business, right? But anyways, now let's closely dissect their homepage here because I think it's really interesting. As you can see, the first thing in their homepage is a course, like one particular course that they offer. And they go really in depth into this one course. So what's cool about this is that this is sort of a good model for a one product store. At least this is the way that I think is best to structure a one product store, where you really go all in on this one product, but you still have other products on the store available for other people to purchase via upsells, or maybe they're just not interested in this particular course, but you may have another course that they're more interested in. And obviously, if you're not selling courses, but you're selling physical products, you can still apply that same concept. Maybe you have this one product that's selling really well and you go all in on that, but also it would be beneficial for you to have other products that are related to that, maybe complementary products that you can upsell to your customers. That way you have a higher average order value, which will give you a better ratio of revenue to visitors, which will give you higher profit margins. Now, I will say that there's clearly a high barrier to entry to this sort of course selling. And the main reason is the fact that they have to actually hire experts in the field in order to have some sort of credibility, right? So this isn't just like your average guru selling you a course. They actually put together a team of people that are experts in their field and have them teach a course, which has its positives and negatives, but this is the same thing that Skillshare has done and Udemy. Now, just for curiosity's sake, let's take a look at Skillshare's monthly visitors here. Okay, so Skillshare is getting 7.6 monthly visitors. That is insane. That definitely means Skillshare is at least netting 7 million in revenue every single month. And the thing about Skillshare that makes it different from motion design here is that Skillshare is a monthly subscription, so they actually retain those customers month after month. But that's besides the point, because Skillshare is not a Shopify store, which means I'm not gonna be reviewing it. I'm only sticking to Shopify. That's my bread and butter, and what, in my opinion, just the easiest way to start a business is through the Shopify platform. So I wanna take a look at the traffic distribution here and also some of the ads that they're running. But first, I wanna make a point here that I absolutely love how they have the course curriculum laid out here, just some frequently asked questions near the bottom. I think this is so important if you're trying to sell something that's higher ticket. So this is like a $150 course, right? But let's assume you're selling, let's say, an $80 product or a $100 product. It's very important to actually make it clear to your customer what you're selling and why they should buy it. And the best way to do that is to pitch the product in the best way possible, but also to answer any sort of questions that they may have that's making them hesitate to buy your product. And they've done this absolutely perfectly. It's very concise. It doesn't have more text than it needs to. They're kind of answering your questions as you scroll through the funnel. So right away, boom, what's this course about? They just tell you like a more in-depth version of what the course is about. And then right away, oh, well, you may be asking yourself, well, what's in the course? Like, I want to know what sort of lessons I'll be learning. Boom, they give you the course curriculum right there. Now they may be wondering who's gonna teach this course, etc., etc. You see where I'm getting at, right? Like, they're sort of answering the questions step by step. And this is a really good way to structure landing pages, whether it's just a normal product page or your home page, whatever it is. Now, when we click on their courses, this is kind of what I was telling you earlier, is that they focus mainly on that one course on their home page, but they actually offer a ton of different courses. And this is why I think that they're netting over $1 million a month, because they just have a ton of different courses. And I'm sure obviously when somebody's happy with a course, they have this email list of people and they run a lot of ads, so they can easily retarget them or send them an email to get them to buy other courses. And this is why it's so important to try your best to make your customers satisfied right off the bat, because one customer, they may buy a $150 course, but if they're very satisfied, they're gonna buy, 2, 3, 4 other courses. And they might even tell their friends about your course. And this is sort of how your business starts snowballing. And it's why it's important to build a solid foundation for your business from the very beginning. That's something I've been talking about for a long time now, and I have made some videos really recently about how you can actually make your customers more satisfied, how I'm doing it. So I'll link those in the description. But for now, let's just continue here. I'm actually pretty shocked by the amount of courses that they offer. This is pretty insane. So they're making so much money. Now let's actually go on SimilarWeb and click more insights, and we'll take a look at their actual traffic distribution here. So one thing that's really interesting right off the bat that I'm seeing is that they are getting about 15%, the majority of their traffic, from China. I'm not exactly sure why. I know that they do a lot of, that China owns like a lot of the video games out there right now, like League of Legends and just some of the biggest games on Twitch. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't know, it's really, really interesting to see that China is buying a lot of their courses. As you can see, some of the top referring sites here are Teachable, which makes me think that they run their course on Teachable, which is actually kind of crazy because that's where I ran my course for a long time, and I didn't really like it that much. I think the course platform that I have now, which is Kajabi, is a lot better. But if I was driving 500,000 monthly visitors to my course, I would definitely invest in my own course platform. I don't know if I would go through a third-party platform like Kajabi or Teachable, especially since their actual store is on Shopify. So that doesn't really make sense to me, but hey, they definitely know something that I don't. Now, when we look at their sort of social traffic distribution here, we can see that 61% of their traffic is actually coming from YouTube, but they're still getting 30% from Facebook. So speaking of Facebook, let's actually take a look at some of their Facebook ads here. As you can see, they do a lot of graphics here. A world famous online course on character animation. That's actually a really good pitch, and it's really short and sweet, which I really love. I'm gonna show you right now this one image that I actually shared on one of my Instagram pages called Netsphere, which I strongly suggest you go follow, where I don't even have any posts. I just share stories, like valuable stories that I see. It basically talks about how important ad copy is and how wrong most people actually approach ad copy. You should want to be as concise as possible while still getting your message across. And this picture right here that I'm gonna post is like the best example. And as you can see, they've done that perfectly. I mean, this is such short and sweet copy, but it's straight to the point, and it has a call to action at the end. There's no links in the actual ad copy, which I really like. I think it looks way cleaner this way, and this is like sort of the standard nowadays. And as you can see, they also have some story ads that they're running. And I know that because of the aspect ratio of this ad right here. Story ads actually get a lot cheaper cost than traditional feed ads. Yeah, they're doing a really strange mix of video and image ads, which is cool. It actually makes me want to test more image ads. I don't test enough image ads. I don't know, I've always thought that videos are better just for retargeting. You can make more audiences out of them. But I guess I don't know anything because they are doing a ton of image ads and just a really cool mix of things. But this is honestly the biggest reason why I love doing these kinds of videos, because I learn best from examples, and this is a great way for us both to learn together, which is the best way to do it. I mean, I always got my student hat on, and I always will. I love learning new things. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm actually really inspired by this particular brand because it's something that's so original. You could apply this to so many different niches. If you just find an expert in like fishing, for example, you could create like a fishing masterclass with them. And as long as you know how to advertise on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, you'll have a successful business. And I also kind of wanted to make this video to give you a fresh perspective on what it means to sell an online course, because unfortunately in this space, like the make money online space, the self-help space, like all these spaces have sort of tarnished the reputation of online courses. But just because those sort of people are scammy and don't actually care so much about giving value to their students, doesn't mean that online courses overall are not a viable way to learn. In fact, they are sort of the way of the future. And this is why stores like this are so successful, or why brands like Skillshare are absolutely killing it right now. Because people do want to sort of decentralize education, and this is sort of the way the world is moving towards, which is all really cool stuff. I mean, there's so many ways to start a business nowadays, and I love finding really creative things like this. But with all that being said, guys, my camera just told me that I'm running out of battery and space on my memory card, which is a sign that this video got way too long again. But I really hope that you learned a lot out of it. I do want to quickly show you sort of what I've been working on as far as my education brand goes. So if you're looking at the screen right now, you'll see this sort of website called Netsphere. So this is basically my digital marketing and Shopify course, and it's been closed all year. And the reason why is because I wanted to sort of rebrand it and build it into something a little bigger than just drop shipping, right? Because I don't want to be categorized as just this guy that just drop ships, because that's not the only thing I do. And I've learned so much in my journey and so many things that I want to share. And obviously I share almost everything here on my YouTube channel, but of course this is a much more structured way to learn. And there are a lot of people out there that have the money to invest in themselves. Now, the coolest thing about Netsphere, however, isn't the course content, even though the course content is pretty amazing. The best thing about it it is the group. It's a very private group. It's just basically all the people that have bought my course in the past, and we've grown to become like a straight up family. Like, we're so close, and I learned a ton from the members myself. As you can see in the testimonials, like, these are just random posts that people in the group have shared. So I've had the opportunity to network with them and become friends and learn from one another, which is amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this to kind of keep you in the loop. I'll link it in the description as well, and you can sign up for the wait list. It's gonna be launching in a couple weeks, and it's gonna be $29 a month. I wanna make it really affordable to all the people that are really interested in getting like a really proper education in this subject. And this way it can be affordable, but it still has that friction for all the people that, you know, are just trying to mooch and spam the group. Like, if I made it free, we'd get, you know, thousands of members, and it would just get really, really cluttered really fast. Whereas with this, we can have everyone on the same page, on a similar level of knowledge, and we can establish a sort of group culture. But yeah, sign up if you're interested for that. That was not at all the point of this video. But yes, the brand that we reviewed today is called motiondesign.school. It's an amazing brand. I strongly suggest that you guys go check it out, browse the page, get inspired, get some design ideas for your store. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, obviously leave a comment for your boy. Love having conversations with you guys in the comments. Any questions you may have, leave it in the comments and I'll answer it. And if you're gonna be doing that, you might as well drop a like on the video and tell the YouTube algorithm to plug me on some views. That's always helpful. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.